and comments. Questions et commentaires. The honourable member for Vancouver Kingsway.
Congratulate my honourable colleague on a powerful speech that I think reflects some of the most profoundly important issues facing his riding in British Columbians. I myself was visited by a large group of citizens 2 weeks ago who are very concerned about the continued use of open net fish farms on British Columbia and concerned about the devastating impacts it's having on our wild salmon. And they were urging us to raise in this House at first opportunity the need to go to in-ground closed containment as soon as possible. But my question really is about housing, because that is literally the #1 issue that I heard on the campaign trail. And in my riding as well, we have very many successful co-ops that were built with federal funds in the 1970s and 80s that provided thousands of affordable units for families of all types. So I'm wondering if my honourable colleague agrees with me when I call on this government to bring back federal funding for a national co-op housing program so that we can build the hundreds of thousands of co-op units that are so desperately needed by so many people in this country.
The honourable member for Courtenay-Alberni.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank my colleague, for bringing that question forward. And again, I'm someone who was actually fortunate enough to live in co-op housing. It provided a safe, secure housing. In Canada right now, Madam Speaker, well, back in the 70s and 80s, when he's talking about that era, over 10% of our housing stock was non-market housing. Most of it was co-op housing. Today, we're at 3%, Madam Speaker. In Europe, they're at 30%. They see housing as something, as a right, that everybody deserves safe, secure, and affordable housing. But making sure we have non-market co-op housing, make sure that people have a place to live, a safe, secure place to live, and it works because you can have all different types of income levels living in a housing co-op, all different types of needs in a housing co-op, Madam Speaker, and we can build them right across the country, like we did in the 70s and 80s. And again, many people that I talked to that were privileged to live in the co-op housing today, a lot of them actually graduated into free market, and those that couldn't, a lot of them are still living there today. So we need to do everything we can, Madam Speaker, to make sure that we provide safe, secure, and affordable housing. The co-op model makes sense. And one thing I didn't mention in my speech, Madam Speaker, is that we desperately need the government to come to British Columbia and listen to people about the housing issue.
Reprise de débat.